And we are live, Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant, welcome everybody to Hits and Heels. It's Wednesday night, and we are excited about a new episode of Hits and Heels. I don't lost count of how many we got. I think we're over 160 episodes. I need to get back to a count. But we've been going strong for a minute. But today, Coach Bryant, we're gonna talk about a couple things but we're gonna talk baseball because we got a baseball legend coming on today.
Yes, very much so.
But you know what I'm impressed with? I'm impressed with your Dodgers winning the series.
LA Blue.
But I'm most impressed with Will Smith with 6 consecutive World Series, and he's a Kentucky rings, and he's a Kentucky native.
Yes, out of Louisville.
Yes.
Out of Louisville, Kentucky. He was on different teams and 6 straight rings.
That's impressive.
So that's been in the right
and
place.
He's a catcher?
Yes, been in the right place at the right
time.
That's what
6 straight seasons in the World Series, winning with a rings. Oh my God, that's crazy. Okay.
But the World Series is different now. You know, being a baseball fan is really hard to keep up because a lot of times they get traded. It's getting more like the college football. You don't know who's on team the next week. So next year. But the Dodgers won it. And it's funny, this World Series, nobody won a home game.
Everybody won on the road?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because the Blue Jays won 3 in LA and LA won 4 in Toronto. So that's different. That's different.
Okay, cool.
So the final thing is I've got to run and grab something real fast, which I forgot. All right.
What'd you forget, Coach Brian?
Well,
go ahead because what I wanted to talk about was that right now, as we're speaking, our nephews are on ESPU. Ball State is presently playing Kent State right now on ESPNU. So if we don't get anybody on, I get that y'all gonna probably come back and catch the replay because you're watching our babies live right now on ESPNU. We have Leighton Starks, TJ Horton, Caden Johnson, Darron Talbot, all playing for Ball State, and they are on live right now playing Kent State, Ball State University.
Wow. I mean, what to represent Lex, right?
Yeah.
Way to represent. And maybe one of these days they might be like our guests in Layshaw.
And maybe in
Layshaw.
Okay. And so now, should I go ahead and just bring him on while I'm waiting on you? Or do you want to talk about Kentucky finally getting a win in the SEC?
Well, we can bring him on. He can discuss that too. His knowledge.
All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do is we have a special guest. So y'all know that, first of all, I want to thank the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame for sponsoring Hits and Heels. They are our #1 sponsor. And because of that, we love being able to feature some of the inductees for the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. So our guest today is from our class of 2025, and his name is Darron Ingram, and he's a baseball with the Reds organization. And so we're going to bring him on, and we're going to chat it up and hear more of his story. What's up?
What's going on, Terri? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain.
What's up, Mr. Ingram?
What's going on, Cisco, man? Good seeing you again, man.
You too, buddy. You too.
So you are a Bryan Station?
Bryan Station, through and through. Northside Pride. You know what it is.
So there's a lot of people that be hating on the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame because there are so many. I bet probably maybe 75% of our inductees are probably out of Bryan Station.
Same thing I said. Yeah.
It's probably out there. But I mean, I don't, you can't really blame that on anything except for society, because back in the day, that's just how it was set up, because that's where the Black neighborhoods were just set up, and they were all set to go to Bryan Station. And so I feel like that, when they started busing everybody across the city, it was to break up the fact that Bryan Station was just so dominant in sports back in the day like that. What do you think?
They doing it nowadays as well. As far as how they split the neighborhoods up and certain schools get certain talent, the other schools just get, as I call it, the leftovers or whatnot, man. But my whole thing with sports is no matter where you play at, if you handle your business on that playing field, then your talent speaks for itself, no matter where you at.
And they talk about that if you're talented, it doesn't matter, even if you're on a bad team, that they will find you.
Correct. Yep.
They will find you. Okay, we'll talk about that today. I love that. Okay,
Right.
so you want to go? I think I kind of put a little bit of your bio on this, but go ahead and start from the beginning. Go ahead and tell us about us. What led you to where where the nomination committee felt like you earned the right to be inducted into the class of 2025? What
I'd
made
say
you?
years and years and years of dedication to the game. And I'm talking about not from, when I first started out playing ball all the way through high school. I'm talking about post-high school after I got drafted, because my situation, prior to me getting drafted was unique because of the fact that, I guess you could say the high school I went to, we had a lot of talent on our teams, but back then the means of getting us out there wasn't readily available. So you just kind of had talent, sitting there. And we never got a chance to go anywhere across state lines to display it like the other teams were, at that point in time. But my whole thing is after I got drafted, I realized at that point in time that, obviously if I want to continue to go on to the next level, I got to learn how to put that work in. Prior to me getting drafted, it was pretty much a talent thing, just like a lot of my peers that played, And I think it was from my second or third year after I started playing, that's when I really noticed the difference in myself baseball-wise, because I always felt like I was going to play basketball, which I spoke on that, at the gala a few months back. But I think with my baseball, the numbers, the power numbers, and the hitting and the raw ability was always there. I just think the dedication, and I go ahead and tell on myself, prior to wasn't there like it should have been. And I'd be the first to sit up and say that if I had it to do all over again and go back to high school or go back to my Dixie Stars days, I would have did a whole lot of things differently. But I just think the dedication and the extra hitting and the early work and everything else intertwined is what got me to the point of being inducted into Lakeshaw.
Well, my question, if I'm correct, okay, how many years you were with the Dodgers?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Okay. How many years did you stay with the Reds, who ended up drafting you? And then you went to the Dodgers next, and then you went to
White Sox.
The White Sox. Okay.
Yeah.
So three-part question. How many years were you with all three teams?
I was with the Reds for 6 years.
Okay.
I was with the Dodgers for 1 in 2000, and then I spent my last 3 years with the White Sox.
Okay. Now, I remember you very, very, very well. I just started coaching at Dunbar. And you was playing first base, and you got up the bat, and that's when the school was actually in left field or right field. The school was in right field, and you hit a ball. Only you and Austin Kearns has hit a ball farther than my neck almost broke my neck looking up. And I'm not making it up. I don't know if you remember that. You hit a ball, and I went, and I'm sitting there going like this, and I turned and I looked at a coach who coached you in the summer. Didn't Coach Chandler coach you in the summer?
Coach Chandler, yeah. Coach Brooks, yeah.
Yeah, and Coach Brooks, God rest his soul.
Right.
Coached you and with the Dixie Stars, and y'all used to go in on a little bus and go around and beat everybody in the nation. And so when you said your dedication, based on that swing and that when we played y'all at Dunbar, you looked like you was kind of dedicated.
Man, like I say, Cisco, man, it's just for me, and I always like to tell this story, I guess it's just God-given talent. Some of us is blessed with that. Because, when I was younger, I actually wanted to stop playing baseball. I was wanting to follow my big brother's footsteps. By the time he was 12, he shut it down. So when I turned 12, I went to my dad and I was like, Daddy, I'm done, man. I want to concentrate on basketball. That was my love. I wanted to get better at that. And my dad kind of gave me this look like, yeah, okay, that's not going to happen. So obviously he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself as a young kid. Because like I said before, for me, growing up, baseball was just, hey man, I get to go see my friends, Saturday. We get to go compete. Then when we're done competing, what we're doing after this, and that for me was just life growing up. So as a young kid, you don't really know what you're capable of. And that's just like I always revert to the story of, when Rodriguez was he was 12 and I was 12. He hit 31, I hit 22 home runs. That's pretty much unheard of, even in today's standards,
Yeah.
for kids that young to hit that many home runs. So, but again, we're just that young. We don't know no better. We just knew, hey, man, we good. Y'all not going to win today. Let's, make the best person win. And then as we started playing together, once we got on the Dixie Stars team and that team you spoke of a little bit ago, that was a life-changing experience for me because of the fact of how my high school career ended up going, and just the fact of the accomplishment that we did that year, we went 66 and 16. Pretty much, I think we probably only played in maybe one 16-year-old tournament that year. The rest of them.
Oh, that's something.
Oh.
No, that's this is back when travel ball first started. Like I like to say,
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Travel ball now is just synonymous everywhere. You look,
Okay.
but back then it was just getting on its upstart. But
Okay.
that team, that year when we won the World Series and then got invited to Texas out there, I'll sit there and readily admit that team that summer is what got me drafted.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, with your size, Ingram, with your size, myself being a football coach as well, they wasn't in your ear to play football because I know you played back. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'd have been in your ear. I mean, you were very athletic. You could move. You was a nice size, and especially in high school, you're still a nice size man now, but you know what I'm saying with the positives. I mean, you were very athletic. So they never really came after you. The football coach at that time at Bryan Station.
It wasn't a hard pursuit. Nah, it was just a situation where they, hey, you should come out for football. But like I say, I was dedicated to basketball.
Okay.
Basketball. Then, of course, I just always knew I was good at baseball. That was just, I was doing it, I was competing as far as my friends go. But then when that summer hit, and then we got invited to it's called the Team One Showcase. I don't know if they still have that around there. I know a lot of it's like Perfect Games, the area code. I think it's some of the tournaments that they still have. The top 100 juniors in the nation. So when we got to go to that, that's when I kind of started thinking, hold for a second, man. Like, what's going on? What's going on? This is turning into more than just me competing against my friends,
Right.
And that's when my eyes started opening, and I was just like, this is all right here. And we started getting recognized nationally, and then started getting the national rankings and everything. And from a kid from Lexington, Kentucky, playing at Castlewood every Saturday, you're not thinking that this is going to happen to you. So it was just like all surreal. And then the fact that, like my story I alluded to at the gala, my situation with we knew we were going to get drafted. We just didn't know where. And, just that type of talent coming through a town at that point in time that's unheard of. If you ask me, in my personal opinion, to have, I think it was 5 of us got drafted off that team. 5 or 6 of us got drafted off that one team.
Out of Lexington?
Off that one team.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I missed that story when we had Rod on here. Okay, so it was you. Who else? Who were the 5?
Me, Rod, Billy, Paul Osteen, Donnie Moore. Actually, it was 5 of us.
Okay.
That's like Billy Blythe.
Billy Black.
Billy Blythe, yeah, 6. Yep. So 6 of us off that same team. And I'm tripping. 7. Rob Oswald.
Yeah, Oswald. I was going to ask. I thought he played with that team at that time.
So 6 players out of Lexington got drafted right out of high school?
Yeah, we were all out of high school. We were all out of high school. Yep.
Okay, I don't understand why we don't talk about this on a regular basis. Like, again, I'm so glad that we brought you on here because I didn't know that. Like, we've had 160 episodes on here, and that subject, and we've talked baseball I don't know how many times, and that subject has never come. And we've had Rod on here at least 3 3-4 times. Rod's a regular on here, so he's
Yeah.
always on here.
Boy,
That's
we
my
should
boy.
speak on it, man. That's something that we
And
always.
we've had Ozan on here too. I don't think Ozan even mentioned it either, because I know Ozan was with y'all too as well, right?
Yeah. Now Ozon was older than
He
us.
was older. Okay,
He's year
gotcha.
before.
Y'all are
Yeah.
friends. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. Yeah, but yeah, I just figured somebody would have. Even I don't even think Coach Chandler talked about it. I love how humble everyone is when it comes to the accolades.
Well, they all mentioned it, but Ingram's the first one that went in details and mentioned who went with him, because based on the question.
Yeah.
And so that's good input. That's very good input. Very good input.
And then, from my standpoint, I wasn't able to talk about this in the gala from that World Series. Then, and in my minor league career, the only level I didn't win a ring at was AAA. So I got four championship rings professionally, and then the one World Series ring.
Wow.
So that's pretty good accomplishment as far as it goes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That is.
That's impressive.
Now, when you went to the next level, you left high school. Okay, and even with the Dixie team, what position did you play? Because I forget. And then also, when you went to the next level, what position did you play?
I was in the outfield. I was an outfielder. So my first 2 years, I played left field. Then from that point on, I played, believe it or not, center field until I got to AA. Then when I got to AA, that's when I transitioned to right field.
Now, babe, let me explain this. And
can you explain it? Because
no, give me a second. Let me explain to everybody how this works. Okay, when you're little and you play right field, that means you're not that good. If you're in a major league and you play right field, it means you got a cannon of an arm. And right fielders, which people don't realize in Major League Baseball and college, is usually the best athlete. Overall, because he's got more grounds to cover. He's got a longer throw, correct?
Right. And you put the fast guy in center field. Yep.
Yeah, the agile guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's more agile, and that's the way it works. So when you went to right field, that was different. How did you catch on to it quick? Because the ball comes off the bat differently.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that I speak on. I guess is having the talent to make adjustments. Mid-game, mid-season. And just transition is just a point of positioning yourself per hitter. You just make adjustments each hitter, each batter. Through each inning or whatnot. So that goes for right field, left field, center field. And as long as you got good communication out there, you help each other out, you patrol the whole outfield, that makes it easier for everybody out there.
Gotcha. Oh man, I love it. Okay, so Mr. Brown's on. Hey, Mr. Brown. Are you related to Bryan Ingram?
No, I am not. I get that question a lot.
You're not? You get a lot? Y'all are not related?
No,
okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Brown. Yeah, Shane Boyd was drafted out of high school as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did you two watch? Perhaps did y'all feel like this was the greatest World Series?
It was entertaining because it's something we was watching at this time. Did you end up watching a lot of it?
Yes, I did actually. As far as the greatest World Series, I don't know about that, but it was definitely an interesting one to watch. And for me, it was really interesting because actually the manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers, I played against him in AA. Dave Roberts. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a beast on them base paths, man, and that's he was legit. So for me, that's good watching the guy from my era win and back to back, not only win but back to back World Series.
Right. Well, I like what you just said. So let's go to your playing days. So who was probably the most competitive or most impressive player that you played against that you was like, golly? Was there anybody?
Pitching wise, I know you probably heard the name Roy Halladay. The Phillies. He's Cy Young winner. I faced him. He was, that wasn't even fair. As far as pitching, I placed. I would say position players. Obviously infielder. Me playing in big league camp with Pokey Reese.
Okay.
I mean, World Series winner, multiple Gold Gloves. So, for me, it was just watching guys like that float around the infield, man. It's so many when you get to big league camp because you're in such awe and you're looking across the locker room. You're like, man, that's Barry Larkin over there, And then you look to your right, that's Reggie Sanders, Rob Dibble. You're like, Lord have mercy. And I was just in high school 3 years ago,
Right.
So it's all surreal to you. But I've seen a whole lot of talent, in my time.
So how did it feel to know that you were just as talented and that you belonged there with all those talented people?
It never really sank in, to be honest with you,
Really?
Terry.
Yeah.
For me, the higher I got, the more surreal it got because I was a kid that grew up watching, the Cubs on WGN on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and then watching the Braves on TV. Now, the guys that I'm growing up watching, coming up through the minor leagues, I'm now sitting here on the same team with them, and it's just I don't think that ever was the case for me. I felt like I was there,
Mm-hmm. So you just it was still humbling, just a humbling experience for you
Very much so.
that you were
Very
there.
much so.
Okay, so
Even to the time where I was making the All-Star teams and hitting all those home runs and leading the league in home runs and whatnot, it was just like, did I really do that? Sometimes I sit up there and, tell a lot of guys if I'm ever asked about hitting, if you get locked in, you don't never really know, what I'm saying, what your actual accomplishment because you got tunnel vision. As far as your at bats goes, even all the way down to defense. If you locked in, you playing good defense, good offense, and whatnot, you never speak for yourself. The next thing you know, you look up, you had a major accomplishment. I never thought in a million years I would hit 29 home runs professionally, but I did it. That got me into the top 10 in prospects in the Reds organization that year as a 19-year-old. So,
wow, that's impressive.
yeah.
Well, one of the things that I want to ask you, and because you said you did it, now it's all about home runs. It's
Right.
not about, back in the day when you played, it was about, what is your on base percentage? That meant something. Now you can hit one home run out of 50 and they're happy. And I don't at bats, I mean, not games, but at bats. What do you feel about the launch and how everybody's about getting the ball up in the air and they strike?
Man, see the ball, hit the ball.
Just hit it hard.
Period. Stay inside the ball. Get your barrel in the strike zone. Keep it in there as long as you can and hit the ball. Swing down through it. Period.
And I say this because when I'm coaching, that's my preach because I got taught by Coach Steve Chandler. And everything's about keeping that bat zone. But in this day and age,
Exactly.
now, okay, how many kids you have?
3.
Okay, boys wise.
I got 2 girls and a boy.
Okay, is the young ladies, are they going to play fast pitch and is the boy going to play baseball and if they do?
Well, my oldest one, her days is gone. She's 31, so
Yeah, I
that's the
remember
one I
that.
spoke of. Yeah, and then my youngest one, she's leaning towards volleyball. So, and my son, he's down. Actually, just got back from a road trip, seeing him this weekend down in Florida, and he's down there doing really well for himself, man. So,
Now, what age is he?
I got 31. He's 20. He'll be 21 in February, and my
Okay,
youngest one, Larkin, she's 11.
she's 11. Yes. Okay, I had
Yeah.
them backwards. I apologize. I had him younger and her older, but it's the other way around.
But
Okay.
I got my oldest grandson, Keon. He's 15. He's over at Frederick Douglass. He made the
Yeah.
basketball team. So
Yes.
again, I should add. So I'm excited, for the season to
For
start.
that.
So I go check him out. And then I got my youngest grandson, Trey. That's the baseball player. So
Okay.
him and his teams over there making noise in Southeastern Crush.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So they just entered in. He's entering into kid pitch this year. And matter of fact, they just got nominated. Well, I don't know if he qualified, nominated. There's so many different rules to these tournaments nowadays, but they just got selected, I should say, to play in the PG World Series next year. His team
Okay.
did because they
Yeah.
won multiple state tournaments. They won the regional last year. So I'm definitely excited to see that.
Well, that's good stuff.
So does he allow you to coach him?
My
Or
grandson,
do you just kind of stay away?
I'm a little bit of both, and when I say
Okay.
that, his dad, and man, and I give him credit every single time, every single chance I get. Like it gets to a point where I sit up and I tell my daughter, I'm like, I can't really, work him out because Tim's telling him, everything right. Like he's telling him
Right.
everything I've been telling him. So it's like, so
But that's a good thing. Yeah.
to be honest with you, it's to a point that when I get the chance to work with him and fine tune some of the drill work and stuff that him and his dad work on, I do so. And then other than that, man, I just sit back and enjoy it. They got a great baseball team, and I hope that they keep them all together all the way up, to they all get into high school, man. But it's a joy watching them kids play.
I like that.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's
I
good
mean,
to
I
know.
think one of the things that we talk about all the time was just getting more Black kids to play baseball here in Lexington, because we feel like there's a lot of them that aren't playing. It's just more glorious to play the basketball and the footballs, but baseball is getting kind of thrown to the to the wayside with the Black kids here in Lexington. But I'm really glad to hear that he's taking on that for you.
Well, my follow up on the Black kids playing baseball is it has to be influence to them, because when they're younger, the thing is, like you was talking about, they all stay together, because what happens is your number one sport you loved was basketball, but God blessed you in baseball.
Right.
I mean, he blessed you in everything, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can relate to that, because my love was baseball, but I
Right.
was a little bit more talented in football. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't come easy, but I had, I knew which one was going to pay the
The
mortgage.
biz.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I knew which one. So my question is the influence of his team and the parents, because it gets harder, because Ty Bettit and Little League, I want to say, what was it, 898 as a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Impressive.
Yes. And he got,
And he won the home run derby.
He won the home run derby.
I forgot how many home runs.
Even when he went to UK, that they wanted him to play baseball for 2
really?
years. Oh yeah. And he was a middle infielder, and to keep him engaged in baseball, I just kept making sure he stayed engaged. That seems to be the biggest thing with Black kids when they do Little League and they get older. They sort of stop and move to basketball and football because it's more entertaining. I mean, and I'm hoping with that team you're talking about that they stay with it, black, white, green, or purple.
Right.
Because people move to more of a entertain me, because we live in a world of a microwave. We want it quick, and we want to be entertained.
Right.
I mean, do you see that when you out and about watching?
Man, Cisco, to be honest with you, yeah, I understand where you come from. For me, it's a mix of both. For me, it's the kids may get burnt out, if it's a year-round thing. Then other than that, then you see kids that I told my daughter when I was at one of their games, I was like, man, I said, I'm looking like I'm watching a professional infield. I said, of little people. Because everybody out there is like, hey, they're all little kids, but man, the way the mechanics and the feeling the ball and getting it off, and then the good throws, they're hitting them in the chest and stuff. I'm like, this is impressive, man. So no, I think it's a good thing, as far as the development for the kids. For me, another main hiccup with a lot of sports nowadays, which I'm not seeing it with this team, but it's video games. You can't get the kids
they
out
have
the
a
house.
false sense of reality with playing the video games and thinking that the video games can translate onto the field, and it doesn't.
Yeah, because it's like back when we played, when kids was outside every day, every at bat, the ball subject to be either be hit over the fence or hit off the fence or out in the field, and they're hitting hard. Now you go watch T-ball games nowadays, and you're lucky if a kid gets the ball out of the infield, and it's just like, what's going on here, whatever. But you attribute that to a lot of them don't get outside like we used to,
Right.
And I think that hinders development, but at the same time, it's caught back up later on in life because all these indoor hitting facilities and all these people doing private lessons as well, man. So I guess it's a mix of both.
Right. Well, one of my biggest things is that, and I do a summer baseball team,
Mm-hmm.
and I found out that 3 of my summer kids have not taken a break from baseball. And when you use the word burnout, and I actually, I saw them at a UK football game, and I saw them, and they was like, "Coach, I'm still." I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 stop!" I said,
Right.
"Stop." I mean, I said, your
Right.
body is developing at that young age, and you need to rest. And that, when then going back to Ty, he had no choice. He
Mm-hmm.
had to stop, and I made him stop so he could continue to enjoy the game.
I think
Because
a lot of kids nowadays is programmed to keep going because
yes,
of the parents that's living vicariously through their child.
That part.
Yeah. So let's go do the extra hitting lessons. Oh well, they're closed today. Well, let's get out in the backyard and do this and do that instead of letting them be a kid. And I tell my grandson that, when baseball's over, man, be a kid. Enjoy
Dick,
yourself, play video games, whatnot. Try another sport. But because believe it or not, he's in the situation that I just spoke of. Like I think February they start gearing up with the indoor hitting, and then from
yeah,
February, I think they in like the first part of October. They're going.
they're
Mhm.
going. And Ingram doesn't bother me as much as the throwing at that
Mm-hmm.
young age. Because you can hit we lost him. Oh, there you are. Okay,
Okay.
the hitting doesn't bother me because getting them to hit off the tee more, which is more what I taught and still teach, is because it keeps your head down.
Okay.
College and major league, they hit off tees a lot
Mm-hmm.
because, and that, because especially when you was coming up, you hit off tees because your head's got to stay in the zone with the bat. And that's been the biggest thing for me. It has more to do with throwing because they're developing, they're getting a maturity in their bodies. Their bodies is changing, and the testosterones are changing, and
Mm-hmm.
also this kid's been throwing for 9 months, and he never rests his arm. Did you have any arm problems at all when you played?
Nah, because they didn't. I can't say they didn't throw us. Like back when I played, we didn't have a pitch count. We just was throwing today. uh, but the only thing I've always heard coming up is just breaking pitches. Refrain from throwing a lot of breaking pitches at a young age. I guess the younger you are, the more elasticity you have in your arm, if you will. But no, I see what you mean as far as that goes, Cisco, and saying to protect the kid's arm at a young age. But I also think nowadays it's the nature of the game. A lot of these coaches are playing these kids like they're a high school team or a low level college team or D1 college team. They're modeling their style of play after him. So it's like nowadays you really don't have no choice. I see 9, 10-year-old kids on pitch counts.
Yeah,
They coach over. Oh, he's at 65, 66,
Mhm.
which is good because it goes against what you're saying as far as the kid continuously throwing. That helps protect that kid's arm. So you
yeah.
don't have a kid out there throwing every single day. So I
Well,
guess a lot of it, man, it just goes with the nature of the game nowadays as far as it goes. So I guess some of them protect them, some of them don't. Because I've also seen in Little League World Series games where kids throw multiple days just to get the win. So.
I think my last follow up question on that it is if I'm running distance, eventually I
Mhm.
got to run distance to get used to running distance.
Right.
When a kid's pitch count and he's dominating fastball,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then how come the catcher's not on pitch count? because
Hey,
because
that's a good one right there,
yeah,
man.
because the catchers throw more than anybody.
Right.
And people don't see it, and they say, well, if the kid's throwing real hard or he's throwing a breaking ball, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've coached games and a kid got to a certain account, and the kid mentally will pitch well. And then when he gets to 70 pitches, it's like he can't find the strike zone anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because mentally, he's not toned in. As long as when they come out and they say that. I just think sometimes you got to go a little bit more to get a little bit more out of them.
Without a doubt.
And
That goes for position players too.
yeah, because your arms got to get stronger by throwing. If you don't throw, it won't get strong. We're not talking about abusing, because I don't do that. Everybody knows the way I coach.
Right.
But I just think that you got to condition your arm to go a little bit farther than
Long
55
toss.
pitches.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
that's really not a lot of pitches, especially the way the umpires call balls and strikes.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah, conditioning is a big part of even maintaining the arm strength, as well as from keep your arm from hurting or whatnot, man. But for me, for instance, when I did play professional, I did have not a lot of arm problems, but I had my shoulders stayed tender. So what I would end up doing was I would get up in the morning and I would go to the field early with the pitchers when they ran, and I just go run with them, man. That helped me out later on in my career tremendously, actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to go this direction. Which player, coach, or mentor had the biggest impact on your career, and what's the best advice they ever gave you?
I would say that's a mixture of both. It would
Okay.
be I know you've heard of George Foster, the Big
Yes,
Red Machine.
Mr. Black Bat,
Huh?
Mr. Black Bat himself.
Oh yeah. But another guy, man, and he became like a real close friend. God rest his soul. Jim Hickman. He played with the Cubs. He played with the Cubs for years back in I think he played back in the '60s. So and their advice was just be yourself. Go out there and have fun, man. Don't put so much stress on yourself. He said, this game's easy. Make it easy. Keep it easy. And that was his philosophy, man. And I just utilized that. And Foster was the same way. George Foster, he said, just go out there and do the best you can. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can ask of yourself.
Right. And for people who don't know, George Foster played for the Big Red Machine, number 15, left field.
Yep.
And he always he's one of the few players that didn't have the tan color bat. His was black.
Right.
And he had this nice little whip black belt. I remember because I was a Dodger fan, so I saw him a lot. I was a LA Blue with Steve Garvey and all them back in the day.
Okay, so what was the hardest part about transitioning from the pros back to the normal life?
For me, it really wasn't, because if you play something or do something for so long and you get involved with the politics of the game and the nature of it, you just get to a point where you say, I look in the mirror, hey, I did the best I could, and my numbers prove that. If you look at my numbers, I don't even have to talk about it. But it just, for some reason, it wasn't in the cards for me to make it. Sometimes in life you have to swallow that pill and be cool with it. I had a 9-year-old child I could come home and take care of. I come home and be a dad. At that time, that appealed to me way more than continuously being away from her, trying to succeed at a game where I'm succeeding at the game. I'm just not getting a shot because of this reason or that reason or that reason or this reason. So for me, the transition was easy. Hey, I gave it 9 years of my life. I had a dang good run. I made some all-star teams. I won championships. So, I could hang my spikes up, and I was cool with it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. So what did you do after baseball?
I went to school and got me an industrial maintenance degree. Okay. So now I'm a maintenance man now.
Well, okay, but I'm going back to so. Have you ever considered coaching high school, Bryan Station?
I would definitely want to coach, but like I say, man, for me, parenting comes first, and just in all my situation with all 3 of my kids, it's never in the cards for me to be able to coach, because I had the obligation to do this, I had to do that, and getting your child from school or getting your child from the daycare at this time, and you have to do it every day to make the situation work with both parents, and it doesn't allow you to do certain other things, and you just have.
Oh yeah, I understand.
You definitely got to have.
It is what it is. And I've had this conversation multiple times with multiple friends. Man, Darron, why don't you coach, man? It doesn't work with my
That
schedule, man.
hasn't worked in
At this time.
at this time. Okay.
Well, I can say this as Coach Eric Hagan is the head baseball coach at Bryan Station,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the assistant head baseball coach. And I would love one time that in your schedule, plug, I know meaningful plug, is you come over and speak, because a lot of times what I got from being a Bowling Green High Purple, and I say that all the time, is the coaches go back to the former players to let them understand how it feels to be a Purple.
Right.
And I would like Station Nation guys to come back, because our baseball program, we're building it back up.
Mm-hmm.
But at one time it was there, big time. It was
Right.
there big time competing, and then people transfer or whatever takes place. But not a question, but just a statement. I would love that we get together and you come and speak to our kids about being a Bryan Station Defender baseball player.
No question. No
Right.
question. I'd love to.
Jennifer Jones has.
Hey, Cisco, let me ask you a question.
Please.
How do you feel about the opportunity for kids nowadays to transfer back and forth to schools like it's nothing? Because back in the day, as I always like to say, when we were doing it, wasn't none of that. If you live here,
Right.
you got to go there. If you live here, you got to go there. Unless you know someone. Even then, if it was found out, you had to go back to where the jurisdiction of your house was. But
Right.
It seems like nowadays, this kids, I don't want to go there. I want to go over here. Boom, they go to that school. Okay,
Right.
I don't like it over here. I want to go back over here to this school. And they just transfer back and forth. So how, as a coach, can you set a team and set something around a nucleus with the possibility of that kid or kids not being there even by the end of the year?
We do that all the time.
It's a double-edged sword for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want someone to be on my team that don't want to be on my team.
Right.
Okay. If you make me feel like you don't want to be on the team, I remember coaching at Bryan Station, and one of my players back in the day took the jersey off. He had a Babe Ruth game, and he got taken out of the game, and he took the jersey and he threw it on the floor. I mean, I'm not a Station Nation, but I'm coaching there.
Right.
And I said, whoa, respect the jersey. So if you don't respect being on my team, then the term is bye, Felicia.
Right.
But I don't like the idea it's so easy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sort of contradicting myself, because it's sort of like anything in life. If you don't want to be there, then I don't want you there, because all you're going to do is hurt my program.
Right.
But they make it too easy for you to say, I'm not happy because the coach didn't play me. I'm not happy because of this. So I don't like that. I wanted to go back to transfer, and you got to have a legit reason to transfer, meaning you moved.
Right.
You officially moved, and not a personal address. None of that. I'm gonna check up on it and make sure. Then you set out a year, like you're supposed to. That will stop it. But if you say, "Well, I changed my address," okay, I know somebody that lives in Dunbar's district, and I want our grandkid, which we don't have none yet, is going once not happy with Bryan Station, then all of a sudden that we need to make sure that that's a legit move.
Right.
So I don't know if I truly answer your question, but in both cases, it's tough to me. It's tough.
Yeah. It's astonishing, man. It's even at the college level.
Yes.
The NIL and all the introduction of the NIL and everything, and the portal.
Yeah, I don't understand why they changed it to where they can switch every year. I liked it better when they had to sit out a year.
Right.
I mean, I get why they did it, but then to me, you should get one time. Like I get once, but then every year and switching schools just to chase the money, I definitely don't like that. Jennifer Jones had a great question. She said, "Did you get any press or recognition here at home while you were playing professionally?"
Yes. I think it was Ryan Lemon.
Yes.
Okay.
They drove up to Fort Wayne and did, man, it was like at least about a 30-minute piece on me.
Okay.
That was the year they had some clips from the home run derby, the All-Star weekend up there. the game that I was playing, well, the homestand that I was playing at up there. They stayed up there and filmed a little bit of footage for that as well. But yeah, and I ain't gonna say constantly, but from time to time they would give updates on me as far as my numbers would go, and other Kentuckians in the minors, they would do that as well. But yeah, that particular summer, he drove up there, and it was a nice piece as well too.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, so how did it feel when you got the call about being inducted into the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame?
It was a great feeling. Like I
Well,
say, to be
I love, hey, Ingram, I love your first thing that you did is you smiled before you answered that. So I know that had to feel good then.
Mhm. Oh yeah, to be, like I said, before, to be recognized among some of the in our area, the great names, but at the same time, these names went outside of our area and was still great, and then to be recognized amongst them, to me, like I said, I'm just a kid from Castlewood, 928 Meadow Lane, so to sit up there and get a call and say, hey man, you did it. To me, it meant the world, to be honest with you, because it's about time we start getting recognized for our accomplishments, because we got a whole lot to be recognized for.
So prior to the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, do you feel like there wasn't a lot of recognition for athletes here?
With the addition of Lace-Off, I feel in that aspect it is, but at the same time, I still feel like it isn't.
It still is.
I got a lot of friends, outside, obviously that I played with, their high
Mhm.
schools in their respective states, they got Hall of Fames at their high schools. Why
Oh,
can't we have
gotcha.
that?
Oh,
Bryan
gotcha.
Station used to have Wall of Fame back when I went to school, but when
Yeah.
they tore it down, they never put the pictures back up. They used to
Yeah.
have 1,000-point club banner in the back in the gymnasium. They took that
Mm-hmm.
down.
Mm.
So it's just like the only high school that off the top of my head that I know of is Henry Clay. They got the jerseys on the walls of the
Mm-hmm.
baseball field. I feel like if a guy put up his numbers and he went on to the next level, be it collegiate or
Their
professionally or
jersey
whatnot,
should
from that
be on the
respective
field.
high school, recognize him. Why not?
Well, I can tell you right now that Coach Hagan and myself are looking to do that and put y'all's jerseys in the outfield.
So,
And it is something that's overdone. And well, we've got in the Mr. Kentucky, we got Doug Flynn and we got Combs. They're
yep.
in the hitting facility. But we want to put like your jersey and other Bryan Station Nation guys that done something and put it
Mm-hmm.
on the field.
Right.
Because people are going to ask questions. Who's that? You know,
Right.
um, uh, uh, who else does it is Dunbar. When
Yeah.
I
Yep.
was
They
at
do.
Dunbar, they even got the old Dunbar gentleman, what's his name? The baseball player for Dunbar, the original Dunbar school. Is it Johnson? Yes.
Lou
They,
Johnson.
yeah, they got Lou
Lou
Johnson in the
Johnson.
outfield, but he's in green because that's
Mm-hmm.
the color they was.
Green and
And
white.
something like that is it's just something special. And trust me that Coach Hagan, who's not from here, he's from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
He's done. He wants to do all that. You
Great.
know,
That's
uh,
great news, man.
yeah, because we want to do it because it's deserving. I'm telling you, you was that guy.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not making that
Thank
up.
you.
And
Thank you.
remember at the thing, you was that guy because I'm a coach, a young coach, and I come and I'm watching you do your thing, and then you move on to the next level. And same thing with Rod, the same thing. It's a blessing, and you grow
Right.
up and you have young people that you influence, and meaning your family, and eventually, when they get to a certain age, you'll expand out even more at coaching.
Right. And it's even hard now. My career's been over for so long. Just even now, kids or people asking me when they find out I used to play professional, and it's like their eyes still get as big as they did back when I was 20 years old. Like, you play baseball? I'm like, yeah. How was it? How did you do? And I sit there and have the conversation with them. But I've grown to realize that it's an appreciation that person has, for the sport, or it's somebody that may know me, from whether it be at work or whatever the case may be, that finds that, you know, that information out about me. It's a breath of fresh air to know that, hey, I did something that touched people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great thing, because I mean, Ingram, I say it again, you and Smith, I heard of y'all before we played y'all. You know, he was at Lafayette, of course, and you was at Station. And it was just impressive. And like you said, is for a person that didn't work at it, you sure look awful good not to work at it. So I mean,
I say that for myself, Cisco, but I mean that goes for a lot of the guys that I played with. I mean, Rod was the same way. Then you had Philip Spencer. You know, that's another name you hear of from Bryan Station, and then back in the football days, out Cooligan. You know, so you know you got Tony Blackburn. Ozone was a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just the names you can sit up and mention from around here.
Ozon's biggest problem is Ozon's biggest problem. He's a Michigan fan, so that's the reason why. You know, we're not giving him that prop.
But he's also a Niner fan, so bang bang Niner game.
I love him for that, though.
I'm trying to figure out which one he's a bigger fan of, the bang bang Niner game or Michigan. That's a toss up.
I think whoever's playing. He loves them both. That's my dog.
Okay, so you just mentioned some names. So you know, of course, I think our deadline for 26 has already gone past. But who are some names that when you were sitting in the audience at the Hall of Fame or after you came off the stage, who can you think of that we probably because a lot of times we don't know who are some names that we probably should look into thinking about? Like who were the people either
I know
before
one
you?
name that comes off the top of my head, and I was thinking about it the night that we was there, is Davon Davis.
Yes.
Lexington Catholic, hell of a football player, hell of a basketball player. He went on to star over Transy.
Yeah, and you know, I got a great story that actually I did the PE program for St. Peter and Paul, and Davis was there. So Davis and his son, who I coached at Bryan Station, he was a quarterback and played, very athletic kid that went on to Mary State. Is you know, I beat them both in a one-on-one game, and I hope Davis hears that. I did beat him, you know. No, he was a heck of an athlete, basketball player. He was, and his son was a heck of an athlete as well.
All right. I'll tell you another name, man, who's a Lexington legend. When y'all speak on the name of Darnell Burton, is William Dishman from Bryan Station. Come on, man. Come on.
Dish.
His name. Now I have heard of that name. That name has come up. That name has come up.
Yeah,
man. Look at here.
That name has come up.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear the David. Who were your heroes when you were coming up?
Who was my heroes
in Lexington?
Who were the sports legends or whatever?
I mean, I got to keep 100 just because you know how it was for me growing up. My brother.
Yes.
You know, big brother. It's just that's what every kid growing up. You got a big brother. You look up to him. You know, and I wasn't lying when I told that story. When I turned the corner and I dunked on him, like I was like, you know, I felt like, you know, like in the backyard, like that's a major accomplishment for me. And like I said, that gave me the confidence to know that, man, if I can do this on my big brothers, you know, the sky's the limit for me.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I love your comment that you said earlier when you said that when you got to that certain age, you went to your pops and was like, I'm done, because Big Bro was done at that age. And I took that as I appreciate my big bro and I love his path. And then you know, so when you said that, I heard that was a high compliment to your brother.
Right. He was a hell of an athlete, Bryan Station. And they ended up, he signed with East Tennessee State, D1. So
who did?
My brother, Ronnie Ingram.
Ronnie Ingram. Oh, we've heard that name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you could say he was in my era, but as far as you say people I looked up to, it was fun watching Darnell Burton play. I played against Birdie all the way up, and you know, it's always something when you in junior high and you sit up and watching somebody take off from the dots in 8th grade. You're like, man, what in the world's going on here? You know, that's Darnell Burton. Oh, okay, no wonder.
Yeah, well, I was very fortunate. You know, they've heard me get very excited when I saw Bert. He hugged me because I was a big fan, because I was a young coach at Dunbar, and that was his junior and senior year there. And watching him was just unbelievable and unbelievable. Okay, what's the basketball?
What's that?
Who is Chocolate? Chocolate Light. They call him Chocolate. They mentioned somebody named Chocolate.
Ingram's like, you got to give me a name.
Somebody said Kenny and Dirk Minifield.
Yeah. So I tell you, Bowman.
Barry, yep.
Barry Bowman. Barry Bowman. I see him once in a blue moon, and I
love his mama.
I vaguely remember when he
Jazz.
Yes. Who don't, right?
Man, I got a story. Well, it's not really a story. I remember the first time I met her. It was after school, and I was going to have basketball practice and whatnot. So I think I was the first or second person to get to the locker room that day. And usually when you go in there, you walk around the corner and go in coach's office, mess with him for a little bit, you know, for a practice start. And I cut the corner, and next thing I know, I was just looking like, who is that? And she walked out, and I mean, she's well put together, you know, muscular and whatnot. And when I seen her face, I was like, that's the lady that's on TV.
Yeah.
And then after she walked out, and that's when coach was like, that's Barry's mom. I'm like, huh? I said, that's Jazz, coach. He said, I know. That's when I found out who she was, Victoria Gay, and then she was a hell of an athlete as well.
Oh yeah, we put her in our second year. Chocolate is Robert Warfield.
Robert Warfield. Wow.
I don't know him.
Thank you.
The only Lexington player to win state championship in basketball and football.
And football. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, but that's what.
Yeah, thank you for that information.
But that's what we were talking about. That there's a lot of people
that we're still missing.
That we miss, and my philosophy on the Layshaw thing. Thanks for accepting it. Thanks for showing up, and your family. It was a great thing. Is Karl Malone said it best. I don't care when I get the call, as long as I get the call. And a lot of people think they should be in a certain order, but a certain order is what we see at that time. We're not disrespecting anyone. The talent is there. Everybody will get their flowers. And some people truly believe, like, we're on the board and we get very irritated. And I say it all the time that I'm not Terri Bryant. I'm not Jennifer and Bobby. I'm not. I snap back real quick.
Totally right.
I mean, I'm gonna snap back. They are just a blessing, and I'm trying to get there. But I mean, the hours that everybody puts in to try to make the Layshaw successful, and they need the donations to keep it first class. They need, the sponsorship, and you want to do it together, not be, as I say, Bobby Brown and go solo. You're not looking to stay with the group and stay with what the vision of Jennifer and Bobby and Connie and the rest of the members of Layshaw is about.
And I think it's just that it's a new vision, and it's something new. And as well as I do, sometimes it takes things in Lexington, Kentucky, a second to grasp on. People to grab a hold of. But I feel like with athletes that came before me, athletes during my era, and we got a hell of athletes playing ball now, nowadays coming through here. Like you just talked about Ball State a little bit ago. That's 3 right there from Lexington.
We got 4.
And and my childhood friend, Tay Horton's son, TJ.
Yeah, TJ. He just ran back with he had a 98-yard.
I think it was 97. Yeah,
97 a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. For me, that's exciting because I've known Tay since we were 7, 8 years old. Now to watch his son do those things on the field, man, it's like, good for us, good for Lexington.
I was very
Good for
fortunate
Lexington.
to meet TJ's dad. We was going to a Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame, All-American thing in St. Louis, and TJ rode with me. So I met his dad. You know, I've talked to him on the phone, but I met him. Great man, and his son is doing his thing. I love it.
Right. I hope he continues to do so. I hope all of them do. I wish them all success. I got a nephew that's playing down in Morehead State, and he actually a freshman. He's actually starting. Vince Dawson, the third, Great Crossing.
Yeah,
man. So it's just
Great Crossing.
yeah. So it's just it's fulfilling for me to see people that I grow up with their kids or their grandkids.
Yes, and we feel that same way. And as you can tell, when you say somebody's name, we know them because we're fans.
We're like they all our nephews.
We're a fan of Lexington.
Right.
We really are, and we're not from here. Neither one of us.
They all are.
But we want everybody's success for their kids, and because it represents how much talent is in Lexington, Kentucky.
In Lexington, Kentucky. I say that so much. There's so much talent here, man.
It's crazy. And I have to give a shout out. He's I know he's asleep because he's not up this late. I have to give Lavelle Martin some props because, like, even today, I think I probably reposted about 4 or 5 of his posts today from where he's recognized where kids have played on the next. They're playing on the next level someplace. And he's reposted them, and I'm like, you just had no idea that these kids had been able to go to the next level. And then, of course, I think 4 of them was girls that are playing basketball on the next level. And I just had to give him a shout out because he kind of keeps. I think he's doing the best job as far as keeping the community abreast of what's going on with the kids once they leave high school and go to the next level. He's doing a fantastic job.
Well, you coming on the show brought light to your history and your background. And thank you for coming on again.
My pleasure.
People don't understand. I say this all the time, and Terri hears me say it. I tell people as a coach, not knowing ain't the problem. Knowing and not doing something about it is a problem. And people get mad at you for not knowing. If you don't know, I don't know. I know how to change the tires. I know how to put gas in my car and check oil. Anything else, I got to take it somewhere. That'll make you a bad person not knowing.
And I mean, like I say, the talent to choose from so vast, like. As I said a while ago, it's going to take a time to grasp on, but I think this is going to be something that's going to be enjoyed by us for a long time to come. Yeah, I really do, man. The gala is a great event to attend.
Fantastic.
All the pre-events that they put together, the 5K walk, the announcement, the ceremony, that was nice this year.
The parade is the bomb.
The parade, yes, everything that they do, and I'm pretty sure.
I met you at the press conference.
Yes, and that's when I knew about this podcast, and that's when I said, "You gotta get me on the show." You said, "I got
spread the word." But see, also it let me know what kind of jacket that Rod Smith has, because that jacket he had on, I'm gonna come over his house for a picnic and steal that jacket.
Be clean.
Yeah.
That jacket he had on was stealable. I told you.
That snake skin.
Yes.
Rod love making a statement though. I love making a statement. That's what I said to him. I said, man, when I called him and told him the news or whatever, it's like, he said, man, I already knew it, yada yada yada. And I said, hey man, take it easy this year. He just looked at me, man, just started laughing. He said, man, I got to throw something together, D, man. I got to throw something together.
I have to throw that out there. That jacket, I told him, watch your back, bro.
Right.
Okay, so were you surprised to see when we brought you on stage? Were you surprised to see Rod and Ozan on stage with you to help present you? I was supposed to do that, and I hope Jennifer and them ain't mad at me because I'm the one that at the last second was like, ask Rod, does he want to come? Because I know y'all would go.
Right. I knew Ozone was going to be on the stage because I attended last year's gala
Okay.
and saw him up there. But yeah, that was a nice touch, man. When I looked up and saw Rod running around the curtain to come up there, and he walked up, he said, and Ozone said, "Rod, gonna give you a trophy, man." We go out there. I was like, I gave him that. I said, "Sweet, man, yes sir." So, and that's like I say, man. That's 40 years of friendship, man. And that speaks a lot.
Yes.
To the richness of what we're talking about, sports history. To sit up there and meet guys when you're 7 and 8 years old, and now we're all turning 50, and we're all still like you can pick up the phone and talk to each other. It's like you haven't missed a beat. And I forgot to mention, man, one of my other partners, like I said a while ago, Philip Spencer, he was in the crowd that night.
Yeah, Philip was there.
That's another 40 plus years of friendship. So things like that, man, is very rare nowadays. It's very rare.
It's very, and it's not just friendship; it's that loyalty to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, and she hears me say it, that when people talk about our relationship and love, and I said, no, we have loyalty to each other.
Right.
And then if you got a friend that doesn't have your last name or whatever, and loyalty means a lot. And she saw that. Terri saw the loyalty and love y'all have for each other.
I did, and so Ozone and I were backstage, and I was like, and it just, so it's how we don't have a script on here. I mean, stuff just comes to me like that, and it's the same thing that happened there. I was like, hey, see if you can call Rod and see if he wants to present. Because you was getting ready to go on stage. And he came on up, and I thought that was just like a great touch with both of you. The pictures were the bomb, and it was just definitely a great touch. It was very touching.
I wanted him to put your jacket on, and I was going to take his jacket when he went to take his jacket.
Oh, you had to be slick to do that, Cisco.
Man. Okay, well, we're getting ready to wrap this up. Cisco usually wants to leave, but I'm gonna wrap it up before. There it is.
What's going on?
I'm surprised Rob wasn't on here.
Bang bang 9 a game.
Yeah, bang bang 9 a game.
I'm not giving no
go blue.
We're not giving no go blue.
Okay, so I got one of my nieces play for Michigan. Jessica Fields is a freshman for Michigan. So I'm a Fields. So Jessica Fields is Justin Fields' youngest sister.
Oh,
and they're like nieces and nephews to us because me and Justin's mom went to school together.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's why I go for Michigan now because I have a niece that plays.
Well, Ozone said
he said my guy from T-ball.
My guy from T-ball.
Thoroughbreds, baby. Thoroughbreds. That's where it all started.
Man, O's my dog.
Okay, well, as we wrap this up, what haven't we talked about that we need to talk about? What do we need to bring up that I haven't, or a question that I haven't asked that we need to ask? Anything?
Coach Bryant. I love it.
Anything else? Hey, Joanne Pugh. So Joanne Pugh is the 50-yard. She was in Lexington a couple weeks ago, and did a hearing thing for us, and it was really, really good. And her son was featured on that, and she's been on the show too. Yeah.
Right. It's basically what it is. It's just to make people be aware of the injuries of hearing and different type of concussions, and it was actually a very good seminar. So thank you, Ms. Pugh.
All right. So what haven't we talked about, Darren, before we go?
Well, say it the way you say it.
Oh, is there anything that you've ever wanted to say publicly that you've never had an opportunity to say? This is your platform.
Take your time, because this is something that you
chance to say publicly.
Or just a platform where
the path that got me here on this podcast and what got me up on the stage at the gala, I would just like to say thank you to, first and foremost, like I say, my folks, because my mom said it, right a little bit before the gala started. It was just on the humble. I was 4 years old. I was taken to the park, signed him up for baseball. And then from there all the way up through my career, they was both there for me. when I went to play, they always made it a point at least once a month to come visit me, and then brought Kiara, my daughter, because when I my first year that I went when I started playing, Kiara was just 1.
Okay.
So that helped me as far as my homesickness of being a parent, so I'm grateful to them for that, because, to be able to travel like that once a month, twice a month, depending on where I'm playing, 3 times a month, that foundation helped me out a lot. The coaches that gave me a chance, from the Dixie Stars team, not a lot of people know this, but I had to actually try out for that team. I wasn't selected for that team. So I had a formal tryout, but as God would have it, he made a way for me. I made the team, and then I got to play, and I handled my business, and the rest, as they say, is history. So without Coach Brooks or Coach Chandler even giving me a shot to even be on that team, I wouldn't even be on this platform right now speaking to you guys. So a big thank you for that, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I'm gonna throw in this, and my wife knows this for a fact. I had the opportunity to go off to college and be a college coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a great opportunity,
When
we first got together, I got a college team that wanted me to leave Lexington and be a DB coach, and I chose not to because of Ty was 4 or 5 at that time.
It was 5.
5 at that time. And you said that in your speech, how difficult it was for you based on being a parent. And you picked that up at a young age. So usually we're too immature to get that.
I'm out of here.
And when you said that, I mean, and my wife will tell you, I started clapping because I understand people don't understand how hard that is because, and you was young, because when you're young, like you just used the word, I'm out of here. But I was a little bit older at that time. And I wonder if I would have made the same decision if I was younger.
Right.
Like, and I commend you for staying focused in baseball, but your heart and your mindset was back home with your baby. So I commend you.
Oh, yeah. So, yep. Oh, I would like to say one more thing, and I was going to say this at the gala.
Okay.
Last and least, but not least, I like to thank me.
That part.
Because without me getting up every day and going to the weightlifting and working out during the off season and doing all the running and all the extra hitting and getting up in the morning and repeat for the 9 years that I played professionally, I like to thank me.
Well,
I love it.
But that comes back to what you said that in the beginning, and we hear you when you made a comment, Ingram, and you said, "Coach, I didn't focus when I was younger, and to get focus, it's hard, because some people are built that way." And I would have to say, knock on wood, Ty's like that. Ty's always been focused. He's always pops. Let's do extra. Let's do this. Let's do that. Always. Okay. And in your case, you got yourself focused, and you were your number one fan to get yourself. And again, I commend you for that because people don't know how hard that is. And it goes back to my comment of not knowing. Because how do you know how to get focused? If you don't, you don't. You make yourself do something that you don't know how to make yourself, you just do. So again, that's a good comment. And that's a very honest comment. Thank you.
Yep. If you want it bad enough, you'll do what you got to do to make sure that you do all the necessary things to achieve your goals. If you want it bad enough, that's for sure. And hard work does pay off.
It does. It does.
And I think what you just said is one of the things why our platform I think is important, because one of the things that we like doing on this platform is helping families to understand the recruiting process, what it takes to help their child to get to the next level. And sometimes I think what you said, I think sometimes parents don't want it more for their kids than what the kids want.
Oh yeah, and you touching on that with the recruitment. To me, social media is good and bad. You know, obviously for the fake news and
Yes.
everything else, but for the platform that has been created for recruitment for sports, I think it's ingenious.
Yes.
Every kid can market themselves. Every parent can be a pseudo agent, if you will, with
Yes,
the phone
absolutely.
calls and the pictures and the posts
And the
and the
videos
stats and all
yes.
that stuff. And it's like everything's at the fingertips of the kids now to sit up there, and you can basically you're marketing yourself, and you can start doing it at a young age.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know which I know y'all probably do. The little running back, ironically his last name's Ingram, Blaze.
Yes.
The
Blaze.
little kid,
Florida.
ironically, his
Oh
last
yeah,
name
he's
is
cold.
Ingram.
Cold.
Yeah, and
His
see,
dad
he's
has
been
did
doing
an
that since 7 years
outstanding
old.
job since he was what, 5 or 6, 7? Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so
Well, one of the biggest marketing things, same thing with your daughter and your son and your grandkids is, Pi got taught at a very young age to say his first and last name.
mm-hmm.
I mean, people don't realize, you say, "What's your name?" They'll say Mike. Mike. Nobody knows you by Mike. They either
Right.
know you by your last name or your jersey number.
Very lame.
And that's how you got to market yourself, like you just mentioned, and Terri
Mm-hmm.
just mentioned as well. Because if you're not your number one advertiser, then don't get mad if somebody else ain't.
Exactly right. And
You know,
and the way
and
society is now with recruiting, you will possibly come up short because a lot of them recruiters they come to the games after they discover you, and a lot of times they discover you nowadays by scrolling. Who is this
yes,
kid? Who is that
who's this
kid?
kid?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
the best example in football is, and I know for a fact there were 2 colleges, D1 colleges, that offered a kid and had no idea who the kid was. They only offered him because somebody else offered him.
Offering.
And that don't mean they're going to give you a scholarship.
Right.
It's offered you.
Right.
And people don't understand. It's totally different when I played by far, when you played,
Mm-hmm.
and you better learn how they recruit. And especially like the number one thing in baseball, your sport.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times back in the day, they don't come to games
No.
because unless you're a pitcher.
Yep.
And people
Unless
don't
they've heard
realize
of
that
you.
in baseball, they come to practices because
Yep.
you can go 0 for 4. That don't mean you can't hit.
Right.
And no ball gonna get hit to you. They want to watch you field fly balls, do infield. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell kids that I coach is you don't know who's in the stands. They might not be wearing that college symbol. They may be wearing a polo shirt,
Mm-hmm.
looking like a parent.
Exactly
You
right.
know, because you don't know. In baseball, it's totally different. Because like I said, we know you could hit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but there's some games you went 1 for 3. I didn't say 0 for 3. I said 1
1
for
for 3.
right?
Yeah.
And there's some games that no balls got hit to you. That's
That happens
baseball.
a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so when this gentleman or this lady walks into your facility and you don't know them, it doesn't matter if that's Mike's dad or mom, pretend like that's a scout.
Mm-hmm.
And that's baseball. Am I correct?
You're correct. And that's what my grandson and them is going through right now since they're going into kid pitch. Man, this game is boring. This game is boring,
Yeah.
Papa. But it's playing that shoe. They don't even hit the ball no more. And I'm like, Trey, that's baseball, man. I said, just be patient. I said, the
Just be
ball gonna
Yeah.
start
patient.
coming out there to you. The
It
more and more
picks
you
up.
guys
It
start
picks
learning
up
how to hit.
soon. It
Mm-hmm.
picks up. It picks up.
Yeah.
It does go boring in coach pitch. It does when you
Yeah.
first start player pitch.
But the love and the hunger that they have that I'm seeing out of 9-year-old kids, 8-year-old kids is just it's unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Okay, looks like I missed this is the last question. Mr. Brown said that the MLB has always had Latino players, and now the international players, like from Japan, has risen as superstars, particularly the 2 with the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on international players?
International players has been playing in the MLB for years. When I played with the White Sox, we had a guy, a pitcher, that was on my team from Japan over there. And of course, obviously your Latino influence is always going to be major because of the pipeline with the scouting departments and stuff over there on the islands and whatnot. But my thing, it goes back to what we were talking about a while ago with the black kids playing baseball. You know, if a kid chooses not to play baseball, then you can't really say, hey, why are you guys not making more of an influence on the sport in itself if the kids is not even interested in playing? So my thing is, if you have kids internationally, you know, want to give the game a shot, and if they're good, which let's be honest here, Ohtani, it's very enjoyable watching them play.
Oh my God!
Oh, he's fun to watch.
Give him a chance.
Well, and one of the things is it went to a stage here in Lexington, and I know we said we're gonna let you go.
I know we said we're gonna let you go.
Is I know for a fact there were some coaches, and they're not coaching anymore. They either retired or got fired or moved on.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want black kids to play. I know that.
And you know,
I've been coaching,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, whoa, how did this kid not make the team? And they was like, well, coach, the parents are this, or they show up late like this, and we just don't want to deal with that. And I was like, whoa, yo, but you're holding the kid back based on the parent. But parents got to understand that happens. If you act this way as a parent, they won't recruit you. And they don't want to be involved with that parent.
Family.
Right.
Am I right?
And you know, it's astonishing the amount of friends I have that listen to me were in coaching. And I say, you know, why'd you give it up, man? You don't enjoy it. Oh, man, them parents, man. I don't want to deal with that. I had a conversation with let's just say an old basketball teammate of mine that happened to play in Louisiana when he graduated. I don't want to say his name, put him on blast, but he stopped coaching, and that was his reason. I mean, them parents, Darren, man, I can't. You know, it's hard to coach a kid when you got the secondary coach behind you in the stands yelling at every time you tell the kid to do something. Your secondary coach behind you tell him to do something opposite, so the kid's out there confused, and he's already got tired.
Yeah. And I say it all the time.
He shut that down one time. We was in a
we had a game. I'm gonna tell you this story. We had a game. I first started coaching middle school. Mm-hmm. The parent is screaming and hollering. We've already had a parent meeting. I asked the parent to stop that twice. I went up in the stands during the game and said, "Ma'am, please stop." I said, "I don't want that." And she said, "Well, my son's out there." I asked the son to come here. He's my starter on offense and defense.
Right.
And I said, "Well, because your mom's not listening, you're no longer on my team."
Wow.
I said goodbye. And the reason why, and everybody was like, "Well, you're hurting the kid." I'm not hurting the kid, because here's the problem. The kid ended up being a very good high school player because the parent took a back seat. Okay. Right. And what it is the one thing I can honestly say is been a coach for 38 plus years. Mm-hmm. Not one coach that Ty Bryant ever played under ever had a problem with me as a parent.
Right.
And I know the games. I know the game. I coach it. I've been at a level. And that's what parents got to start understanding. Nobody cares what you're saying, because you think with your heart first and then there. But here's the problem with you thinking with here. It goes from the heart, it goes to Texas, it goes to Florida, it goes to Canada, and then it comes all the way back around to Ohio, to Lexington, and then the brain. Mm-hmm. And parents don't realize that. Right. Your heart's in it. I mean, I wear my emotion on my sleeve. It comes to time, but I also understand that the role I have to have as a parent.
Right. I see a lot of it in like I say, with watching my grandson's team. I'll say my pointers to him, which, like I said, my pointers always echo what his dad works with him with. So we're always on the same page. But then he'll be hitting, and then he'll take a pitch or whatever, and then the first base coach will tell him, "Do this, make sure you get back, hold your hands here, do this." Then right before he steps back to the box, the third base coach will yell at him, "Hey, do this, do that, do this." And I'm like, that makes me so mad, because then you got a 9-year-old sitting in the box thinking, he has to listen
Yeah,
to all three
overthinking.
adults.
Hold on, Ingram. That's when you say, coaches, stop talking to him.
Yeah, leave
Because
him alone.
people think, and I get that in travel ball, the parents want to talk to them, and
Yes,
nobody talks to a hitter before he hits.
exactly. You got to be as loose as possible,
You
right?
got to be as loose as possible. And I had to walk up to a parent in summer baseball, the same thing. I said, do I say anything to a batter that's in the hole on deck or batting? Because mentally, they got to get ready to hit a ball.
Go hit.
Somebody's trying to move on you.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I guess the last question is, how does that, meaning the level you played, because the
Mhm.
level I played was football. So how does that, as a level you play, and you know that's wrong? I mean, isn't that hard for you? Because not because that's your grandkid or that's your child,
Mhm.
you played at that level that everybody wants to get to, not verbally say, stop talking to my son, my daughter, and my grandkids.
I'll sum that up by saying every coach feels like they're a hitting coach, and every coach feels like their method or what they're saying is the correct way to hit or to correct something, if you will. And that's why I sit up there and say a lot of these kids, when they do go up there and hit, they're putting too much on them. I always tell Trey, when you go up there, man, don't think about nothing. See the ball, hit the ball.
Yeah.
Period.
No,
And then when your at bat is over, then we'll analyze what you possibly did that at bat. Even still, we might not even talk about it then. What you need to do is go out here, and I tell them every single game, I love you, have fun. And then
okay,
after the
great
game's
answer.
over with, then we'll talk about what do you think
Okay.
you did? Do you think you had a good game yesterday? Well, do you think you did anything wrong? Oh, I did such and such. I pulled out, or I wasn't waiting on the ball. That's exactly what it is, and we got to work on that.
But
So,
great answer. Great answer. But
mhm.
you didn't answer my question.
Uh-oh.
How do you not tell the coaches to stop talking to your child? How hard is that for you?
Because I'm not one of those parents in the stands
Okay.
yelling at them. I don't want Cisco Bryan to come up in the stands and tell me I gotta leave and take my child with me, man. I don't want that to happen. So yes,
Always do that.
that's my main thing. Just let the kids have fun, and does it bother me sometimes because some of the things
Yeah.
that they're telling, not
Everybody.
only my grandson, it's some of the other
Other
kids out there. And I'm
kids.
like, you
Yeah.
gotta tell them to quit. Like it burns me to sit up here and see a kid swinging up like this, swinging
Oh
up
my,
at the ball.
that's my point. That's the swing now.
Yeah, he can't stand that.
That's
Yeah,
at launch. That's at
yeah.
launch.
And,
Okay,
and,
but
and, and it's
I
like
mean,
you
you was
can't sit
better
up
than
there and
me.
try to tell the hitter, or not even say a hitter, a kid in the middle
Yes.
of the game, don't swing like that. Because then he's like, he'll probably go in the box next time. Like, well, damn, how do I swing?
Yes.
Neither
Yeah.
way is right.
But that I give you credit for that, because I have to admit, during summer baseball, one of Ty's years, I did tell that coach stop talking to him while he's on deck.
Right on deck,
Yeah,
right?
I walked up, but I didn't say it out loud. I walked up to him. I said, "Look, you got my son thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to think. I want him to react."
Right.
And I said, "Can you please talk to him all you want when he's number 5 hitter or 6 hitter, or when he comes
Right.
in. But when he's on deck, stop talking to him,
Yep.
because he's going to hear your voice as he's swinging."
And that's the worst thing you can do is send the kid. You can send anybody up to the plate thinking. That's the worst thing you can do.
You can't do it. You can't do it. So, but anyway, man, this has been great. And she's about to ask you another question.
I'm done. Mr. Brown got me, because this was a good question. So he asked T-Bone Chevy, who was the greatest MLB player, and he said Barry Bonds. Do you agree, or is there another great that you admire? And then I'm gonna let you go.
That's always, I ain't gonna say it's a touchy subject for me because I always get to ask that all the time. And this is my thing, and I want to touch on it real quick because you guys said a while ago with the batting averages and the home runs. It pains me nowadays to see these guys making millions of dollars with a 214 batting average. Whereas back as when I played, you had to, if you didn't hit 280, 285 or better,
you were trash.
Well, Ozzie Smith wouldn't play now.
Right, yeah. So my thing with that is Yes, I would totally agree with the fact of Barry Bonds because, and this is what I say every single time I've asked this. Yeah, he may have did what he did, but you still got to see the ball hit the ball.
Well, I know I can pump in all that. I ain't gonna hit nothing.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean that just hands down. I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to bring the bat around, make contact with the ball. You can sit up there and pump and whatever you want into your body. If you're up there striking out all the time, what difference does it make? It means you weren't a good hitter to begin with. But to sit up there and command the plate like he did with the amount of walks that he had, you know, as opposed to his home run ratio, his batting averages and everything. I always say that, yeah, he did what he did, but he still hit the ball at will, basically, if you ask me. Just his mental approach to the game and the way that he out fought pitchers from each pitch sequence, second to none, man.
Yeah. Well, my favorite player is of all time, and that I think was the best player is Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, Junior to me did everything, and Barry Bonds is like 1.5 because Barry Bonds to me was he didn't miss, and like right now, like a kid get up hit a foul ball, and people go good swing. That's not a good swing.
Right.
Because you're not gonna get that pitch again.
Right.
You about to go sit down, throw him a chair. You about to throw him a chair, go sit down. And then the players go, good swing. And then we had one incident, Ingram, it's funny. A kid hit a long fly ball and everybody's clapping. And I was like, he about to strike out on the next pitch. And then another kid hit one straight back, and I said, oh, he's on it. And people don't understand in baseball, hitting one straight back means you own it. Don't throw that pitch again. Right. You hit a long fly ball, that just means you about to strike out on the next pitch.
Right. So, I'm with you when you're right, man.
All right.
Well, there we go.
Ingram, my man.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to get together with you. And again, we're going to work with Eric Hagan. Coach Hagan is working on the names out in the outfield because, you know, we're blessed. We're going to be there for a while, and we're going to change that program. But we've got to acknowledge yourself and other players that did something. I'm going to tell you this secret that I tried to do. I tried to get your high school coach on, but he's got Alzheimer's.
Really?
Yeah, and I tried to. I wanted him to pop on for a surprise for you, you know, Coach Sellier, and they was like, you know, it's gonna be tough. He may have one of those days, so I didn't want to put him on that spot. But just to let you know, I thought about that. I thought that would be a very surprise for you. And
prayers go out to him.
Yes, sure. Yeah, definitely does. And but that's what we're working on. But also, as well as you coming and speaking to your defenders and getting you some caps. We're gonna get you some caps. What size?
I need that.
What size?
8.
An 8. Okay, that I got it. That's a large, medium.
Right.
Large,
extra large. Yeah,
large extra. All right, I promise you, in the next few days, I'm gonna give you a call. Drop them over to your house. Okay.
Okay, sounds good, man. I appreciate you. I wish you guys much continued success with this podcast, and this is a great thing, and I support everything that you guys are doing.
Oh,
thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm the back screen. That's why she's up front. This is my baby.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to thank the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, Bobby and Jennifer, for sponsoring our podcast. I want to thank them also for allowing us to have you people on like you so that we can hear your stories, because they are definitely needed to be told. And I'm glad that we have this platform to be able to go more in depth, because I know during the gala they only give you 2 minutes. They don't give you enough time to really tell your story. But we like being able to bring people on so we can give you that time to be able to say what you need to say so we can hear your full story. So again, thank you again.
Darron Ingram.
Congratulations on your baseball career, but definitely congratulations on your induction into the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Tell the wife we said hi.
I'm an end the stream, but don't go nowhere. All right, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube on at Hits and
Go
Heels.
Niners.